back to Crucial Conversations. This is episode 11, you dig? 2 ones. All right, check it out, man. I took a little break after I dropped the one with Quincy Wilder. Took a little break, couple weeks off. Went back to work on the grind, but then I start missing this, man. I had to come back to it, talk to a couple people, start setting up some guests. You know what I mean? So if you're new here and you just got in your first one's episode 11, the show is called Crucial Conversations, man. The best conversation, the longest conversation, the smartest conversation you will have, will be the conversation you have with yourself. Okay, so make sure you're talking positive things to yourself, uplift yourself every day. That way you can take on whatever the world's going to put on you as soon as you walk out that door, raise your head off the pillow. All right, so today I'm getting ready to get it in with my man, Anthony Andrisek, man, Tacoma guy. What's up, man? What's up, Tony?
Man? How you feeling, baby? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm feeling good.
Let's talk.
Yeah, you already see my energy's going.
Tay's energy is always there. It's always there. Undisputed.
Yes.
Undisputed, baby.
Yeah, so we're getting ready to go. We're getting ready to go. Hey, look, man. First of all, I'm happy that you came here to join me on Crucial Conversation.
Yes, sir.
I've been knowing you for a while.
Yep.
I'm actually since we were younger, just playing against you on outside playing ball.
Yep.
After that, I got done playing him when I was running Tacoma Thunder. I looked out and seen you and was like, I wonder if he would play.
Yeah.
And so I brought you on, and we spent some time together for that year while we were doing that. But I always respected you. And one thing that I respected about you when you was younger was the fact that how hard you played.
Yeah.
But not only, it was you could tell there was a chip there.
Yeah.
At the time, I was a kid too, and mentally I wasn't ready to dive in and see what was going on. So today I just thought maybe I could dive in and get to know you a little better.
I love it. Yeah. I want to share that. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
For sure. So we on the same path right now, right?
Man. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
For sure.
Let's do it.
Let's dig in.
Go ahead.
Let's get crucial with it.
Let's do it, baby.
All right. So one thing that everybody should know that has played against you right now, that since forever, you was quite a ball handler.
Yeah.
You always had the tight dribble.
Yeah.
You were nice and quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could tell it was like glue to your hand.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Okay, man. So when did you start playing basketball?
Man, I want to say 9 or 10. I got in the boys and girls club, and started just playing there. You go to the boys club, just the outlet. Your parents want to get you out the house, so started there. Didn't want to play football or anything else. Basketball was like I just drew to it, and so I started playing there. Growing up East Side, McKinley Park was like 2 blocks from the house.
So you was East Side Boys Club.
East Side Boys Club.
Okay, East Side Boys Club. Yeah, all right.
For those who don't know.
Well, you got to know the essence. That's where your style.
You're right.
That's where the style came from.
You're right.
Let's go.
So Boys Club started, and then you go to McKinley Park, and McKinley Park, like for me growing up was like a Rucker. You know what I mean? There was like Aaron Floyd, just a lot of old heads, that I didn't really know who they really were until I got a little older. But I was watching these guys play, and it was just like, man, these guys are dunking and doing stuff that caught my eye.
Yeah.
And, when you're young, you're small. You can't get on the court because they're like, you got next game, little man. This is growing man's game.
Yeah.
So I got around, playing at the boys club, playing at the park, with your friends. Around 11 or 12, I started getting a little bit better. And then the guys started offering me to play. Say if they were short one, you know what I mean? They might say, hey, little man, you want to play with us? Run, get on fives or whatever. So I started playing with the grown men. And, back then it was like you had to play tough. And so chip on my shoulder, just obviously 90s basketball, East Side, Tacoma, gangs. You had to be tough just in the street. So you couldn't be soft. And, a little bit of that chip came from just growing up, hard knocks. You know what I mean? Just, hard, getting kicked out of the house to saying, to hanging out with the wrong people, you know what I mean? But I think that chip came from just growing up in the East Side Tacoma and just some of the men that I was playing with and, just loving the game and wanting to be a good athlete.
Your game was curated off on the East Side,
right,
on the East Side of McKinley.
And then, ball handling, I dribbled my ball everywhere I went. Everywhere I went, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what I did. And it was just like walking the dog. And so, it went from, you just, really, and that's funny now because I'll see a lot of skills work, and skill work now is like put into combinations and like a workout.
Yeah.
Me, it was just like, you didn't have a cell phone, you didn't have the gadgets they have now. So a ball was really like that. It was a meditative. It was like I can be in my own little world, dribble my ball, and I can go to the park and shoot. But I always had my ball. And my mom used to say, "You stop dribbling the ball in the house, get out, go outside and play." And so that's what we did, man. And that's what I did. I just drew the basketball. Back when we were younger, you played football, basketball, baseball, soccer. You just played sports.
You got it in.
You were active, right?
You was a boys club
kid. So that was kind of my thing. I mean, there's different timelines within, like, taking it serious. You know what I mean? We can talk more about that, but but
I think so. When I'm hearing what you're saying, you know what I mean. When I'm listening to you, one thing that I wanted to dive in a little more about is the actual the way that you learned how to dribble like that. Yeah. Now, when I'm telling you dribbling, there's a dribble and then there's handles. Right. The man you had a handle. Right. It's different than someone that can dribble. You know what I mean? You had a handle. So when mentally let me explain it like this. Check it. Hold up. Check it.
Yeah.
So like there's people that dance. So let's say break dancers. There's people that break dance. They've been taught how to pop lock, right? Mm-hmm. And they can pop lock. Mm-hmm. The music come on, it looks dope. Right? They can do it. They could pop lock. Right. But then you have those guys that you've seen at the park that could pop lock, and they weren't taught that. They could just move that way. Right. And that's the way your handle always looked to me. It didn't look like it was forced. Your moves were precise. Right. And it wasn't you know what I mean? It was more of a natural flow to the way you dribbled it. So I always admired that about you. But that's just me with the, being a long guy and always wanting to dribble a lot. You know what I'm saying?
My thing with the handle is, okay, so dribbling your ball, just repetitions. Just dribbling your ball, playing, and trusting your ability. You know, when you play games, obviously, trust your practice play, right? Yeah. And I think it just, what I had in my mind when I used to go down the park and I used to play basketball like late at night, don't come home till like 7 or 8, right? Just play. If you didn't have any responsibilities to take care of. I used to think, what's the counter move? Like a boxer, you know what I mean? Like, so if I cross this guy up and I do this move, I would just play scenarios out in my mind. I would imagine a defender in front of me, and I would just think of what can I throw at this person to confuse them with the ball and my footwork, head and shoulders, hips, whatever I can throw at them. My whole thing was counters, and I could read that individual quick based on what I knew, where I knew the ball was at. So if I shifted a guy from one side, I'm like, okay, if I shift him here, I know exactly what my next move is. If he cuts me off, I know what the counter is. And that's kind of what you
were doing that. I was doing that.
So
at 11.
I was doing early on, and I was late at night at the park. The McKinley Park had lights, but not on the court, kind of further away. And so I can see my shadow, and I would watch my shadow in front of me to
shadow box.
Yeah, to see what my moves, how concise they would be, or what my thing was head and shoulders. Like, so, when you dribble the ball, you have your isolated dribble. Like, so if you see a lot of guys now, they're just stationary and they're dribbling really hard. They're doing high reps, high volume. There's not a lot of ankle, not a lot of hip, not a lot of swag. Like Kyrie does that real well, right? Kyrie, he's like a bop, 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 bop. And you have to shift. And so my whole thing was like, if I can shift my body with the ball and I can have counters, if someone cuts in front of me, I just feel like I couldn't get ripped. And I didn't want no one to touch the ball. Like, I was that adamant about my handle. I used to get really pissed off. Like, if a guy poked it away, I would try to chase the ball and recover it in a sense of like, almost like you're boxing somebody and they hit you with a punch, kind of wakes you up, kind of like, oh, wait, hold on, you're trying to take my rock.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It got personal.
Yeah, it got personal. And I just wanted to break people off. I wanted to embarrass people. That was the thing, too, back then. You wanted to embarrass people. You wanted to take names. So park basketball was it. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at, like, and one, obviously New York, all those, East Coast kind of style of play, they did it so well. Obviously, it got more mainstream, but that was the vibe. That was the vibe.
Yeah, before I was seeing those moves that were happening in the N1. I had already seen those before the tapes came out.
And I'm not big time at all.
No. But I'm talking about those moves were being created as we were growing up.
Yes.
I've seen those. So before I seen no tape, I was actually seeing guys do it. Not just you, but there was other guys. Even some people that were from back east were in Tacoma area. And you'd be like, whoa, what was that?
What was that? And guys, it's like watching the game, being around the game. I would see other guys do a move. And I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta put that. It's like download. You got to download moves.
Oh, definitely.
And that's why it's so important for kids to kind of, or anybody really who loves something, you absorb yourself in it. Yeah, so it's like you love watching it. You love being around it, or you admire people that it's nothing wrong with that. Admire someone who might be better than you in something, like where you can say, hey, how do you do that? Or just watch what they do. And so we can take from people who are doing things a little bit better than us, or where we want to be. And that's kind of what I did with basketball. I just absorbed myself with it. I would fantasize on like what could be created with the ball, with my body. What can I do with it that's obviously within the rules of the game?
Yeah.
And there's some street stuff you used to do where it would be carry, right? Remember the crossover Allen Iverson? You palm it and high dribble, swing it around your body, you know what I mean? Just to swag. And so a lot of that just came from just playing with the rock, you know? I think now, would I use a trainer now? That'd be the question I ask myself. And the trainers that I would use would be someone who helps me know how to use these moves in a game. It wouldn't be so much to feel confident with my left hand, because I already did that. It would be more, I over dribbled. You know what I mean? Like I over dribbled.
Oh, I know what you mean.
It'd be over dribble. I remember coaches would be like, okay, I would shake the guy 2 or 3 times, but I would, you know, I wouldn't finish, or I wouldn't make a great pass. And that's kind of what I didn't learn right away. I mean, my shot was okay, but I didn't really care about my jump shot back then as I understood it later on, being small and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Yeah,
for
man.
sure.
Yeah.
So like, I know for me, when playing ball was
and you had
was
a handle.
sanctuary.
You had a handle
My
for a big guy.
My handle was
You know,
interesting. I protected the ball well. I say that.
Aggressive. Nobody was taking your
Well, all
rock.
my dribbles were more precise than look pretty. I was more like, if I was going to dribble it, it was more of a pound. You know? I protected to make it look somewhat pretty by going between the legs, but usually that was just to deter you because my legs are so long.
Yeah.
If you reach while I go between my legs, I can get by anybody.
I'll tell you what with length is that, you know, like guys like you're long. You got to use your length. Out with the guy. Just out with the guy. If you can get past that person's foot and get your shoulders around that guy,
We're good
or
to go.
leverage him, you're good. You're good. And then if you have strength, right, and then you have different finishing options, then you're good. You know.
Sure,
so when you're short,
sure.
like I'm 5'9", so it's kind of like you got to have hops. You got to have it all.
It's got to be.
Like,
It's got to be. There's
jumper,
different degrees.
different
to it.
degrees. to
Different
it.
degrees to whatever you're, in your position or the way you like playing the game.
Exactly.
Also, when, like you said, you were over on the east side, man. You're spending all this time, and you were seeing basketball at these different levels early. I have to ask you, like, did you? To me, it sounds like that thought process that you had when you were going through that and looking at basketball that way. I know back then a lot of people, the rumor was that you were uncoachable.
Yeah.
That you were a bit of a hard head, a knucklehead. Like I said, we weren't close. I knew who you were, but we weren't close. And one thing that threw me off when I first started talking to you as you were older was you didn't seem like a kid that ever had that problem. But now listening to at 11, you making those maneuvers basketball-wise, did you apply that to life also? Because to me, right now, I mean, you're married, you have a job, taking care of your family, you have beautiful children, and you're a great father.
Appreciate
you know
that.
what I mean? So you had to have applied something there to be the man that you are. What changed you as far as being someone that could be coachable, or someone that? What I'm getting at is, how'd you become from the knucklehead to the man that I'm looking at across the table from me?
Let me back up. So, love basketball, and let me kind of a health thing here.
Okay.
And then I'll go into like a family thing. So,
okay,
like,
we can go.
So far as handles, like, so around 14, 15, I got diagnosed with a rare joint condition called osteoarthritis dissecans. It's a disease of the elbow where you lose lack of blood supply. So I started developing that at 15, 16. And so as a result, I had some arthritic problems with my elbow starting to develop. And so, not knowing what it really was, the doctor, I get taken to the doctor by my mother, and the doctor's saying, hey, his joints and his elbows aren't going to be normal. And so crying, right? And I felt in my heart early on that I had the ability to possibly, in my mind, make it to the NBA because of what I knew I was able to do with the basketball. I don't know how tall I would have been, all that stuff. But in my fantasy world at that age, it was like, this is what I feel like my gift is. This is what I feel like I love. And I know I just had that feeling. I felt like it got taken away in that way. I think that there was some insecurity because of that, because of my perfectionism of wanting to be a great basketball player and just knowing that I was embarrassed by that slightly, you know what I mean? And then the attitude part came in from that being my safe haven of feeling like that's how I can express myself, and I could probably do it the best way I could. And then home life, my mother and I butted heads, and mom was a single, parent, and grew up in the system, welfare system, and poor. Money was always an issue, and so there was conflicts in home. So I think for me, it was just like I was struggling with a lot. My dad passed away. And it was just like I was trying to figure things out. And I was trying to do that with what I loved about basketball, obviously starting to have some health problems with the joint. And then going through that, not being a bad kid. I don't think I was a bad kid. I think when you say bad or just like a knucklehead or uncomfortable, I think just I wasn't guided the way I needed to be guided. And I was looking for a mentor. And I did have those. I wouldn't say that it was all lost. Giving my life to Christ, I won't put that out there, I had friends that, went to church, and I kind of went in and out of that. And around 20, I had a friend named Anthony Boyd. I haven't talked to Anthony in a while, actually, but I need to call him. But he's like, hey, man.
Make sure you do that.
Yeah. He's like, hey, why don't you come to this Young Life camp? And I was about 19, 20. I was working at late night and YMCA. You guys are familiar with the Y. But anyway, go to this camp. And I see these young kids that are struggling with the same things that I struggle with, but I'm kind of now getting to that age where I can't make those an excuse for my life anymore. As you get older, you got to man up or woman up, or kind of just what choices do you want to make? And I had enough of, I think, kind of the strength within myself to say, I don't want to be a drug addict. I don't want to be alcohol. I don't want to be a debtor in jail. And a lot of these things are going around my area, right? These are. I had friends that I could have went another path, and I was like, I just got to stay. Basketball's it. Basketball's it. Even though I might struggle, I just love the game. I got to be around it because it's going to keep me positive. But anyway, go to this camp. And I gave my life to Christ at the end of this week of camp, and I remember feeling different when I came back. And I remember feeling that I want to change my life, and I want to do it the way God wants me to do it. And I feel like this is important for me. I think it's important for my direction. And is it for everyone? No, maybe not. But for me, I think that was the best choice that I made. And then meeting my wife, growing up in a traditional church home, gave me stability and gave me trust. I didn't really trust a lot of people. I think when you grow up in a certain way, when you grow up fast, or you feel like people are in and out of your life, or people are, there's a threat there. I felt like I didn't trust a lot of people. It took me, even today, it takes me a little while to get to know people. I'm always kind of like skeptical, even though I'm nice and I have a good heart, like I'm still skeptical because people smear you or they burn you and it doesn't feel good. So I think like the attitude maturation is just growing up, obviously I think the best thing is being able to be present in your life currently and be comfortable in your own skin. There was a part, I think in my 30s, where I started to get more comfortable with who I was. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like some people find it early, but I think just comfortable with who you are. You begin to like have these life things happen. Kids, right? Kids change you because it's not about you anymore, right?
Yeah.
You get married, you want to, you obviously, have a spouse, so I think just becoming a man. And I think the hardest part now, not the hardest part, but, challenges is that we all need somebody still. And I don't care how old you get, right? You need someone to just talk to, right? Think of like the way things are now in society where it's just like, you have to wear a mask most times and, things are a little bit more closed off, or that even technology, we live behind technology a lot, but the natural Wi-Fi is human connection. And so we need that. And so finding someone you trust and you love and care about, that I think that changed me. I think that helped a whole lot. And still having my hobbies, you know what I mean? Like basketball.
The thing about it, what you're saying there is stability.
Said a lot.
Stability.
I'll talk a lot.
Yeah, stability. I was fine, man. That's what the podcast is for.
You do good.
This is what the podcast is for.
Keep me on ADHD. Track it.
So the thing is, like, first of all, what I heard as you were speaking, stability. Being married, faith. Having somebody, faith. The natural maturation of getting older, being able to look at things. But one thing that I wanted to focus in on that snapped in me was also the fact that you start, instead of reacting, you start being reactive. You start getting
Right.
active and making you start knowing yourself. That's part of knowing yourself. I know what I want to go do now.
Yeah.
So once you start doing that, then you start putting your foot forward and you
Right.
start working towards your direction.
Right.
One thing I'm big on is energy.
Yeah.
A lot of people, when they first meet me, know of me or hang around me, they was like, Dontay just has a lot of energy. My energy, having a lot of energy can be a good thing and a bad thing.
That's your superpower.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to become
Your
total superhuman.
superpower, man. Energy, enthusiasm carries a lot.
Yeah,
It carries.
So the
carries
thing
that.
is, like,
Carries
I'm on
that.
this whole path of just following the natural energy of what's
Yeah.
going on and staying positive of
That's
what
good.
I'm doing,
Yeah.
and this knowing that, like you're saying, knowing yourself. One thing I'm doing every day is trying to learn myself even more. I think getting older allowed me to do that. When I was younger, I didn't really care about myself to know myself,
Right.
because I was listening to the poison and drinking the poison and
Right.
doing everything that was negative to my body,
Right.
to where it was shutting off.
Right.
So like when literally I really am trying to become superhuman by feeding myself positive thoughts and taking and removing things which are negative and getting it away from me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it works wonders.
It does.
Like,
It
remember
does.
I told you about I'm gonna tell you a little story, man.
Okay, I love it.
Check it.
Let's do it.
Check it out.
I want to hear it.
So when I was young, remember I told you we was on the phone. I told you I used to have very bad dreams.
Yep.
Nightmares, horrible ones. Every night I had a problem sleeping. You know what I mean? I was scared and peeing the bed, all that. I didn't want to get out the bed. One time my grandmother told me I was spending the night, and she was like, "You can control your dreams. You got to control it." So it took me weeks. I kept trying. But one particular dream I used to have that used to wake me up and I used to be scared was there was a dream where there was like a court. I don't know if it was a basketball court or a tennis court, but it was a court and there was a fence around it and there was quicksand in there. I don't know why the quicksand couldn't come through the fence, but inside the quicksand was my family, right? And I used to have this, and I'm talking about my immediate family, my grandmother, my mother, my aunties, my uncles,
Okay.
my family, as a kid. And I used to climb up, and I was the only one out. I used to climb up. Every night I used to have this damn dream. I climb up there, and I would try to pull everybody out the sand, right? Every night I had a dream because I would die. I would start dying in my dream. I'd wake up because I would fall into quicksand, and then I'd wake up. So one night, I couldn't control the dream, but I just stopped and I watched everybody go into quicksand. That was the last night. That was the last time I ever had that dream, right? I'm telling you that to tell you this. Some things are just a sign,
Right.
you know?
Right.
The metaphor of the quicksand, it wasn't death because a lot of my family members are still around that I was
Right.
seeing there.
Right.
It was me just trying to let go because I was destined to go on this other path.
Right.
You know, I looked at foster care and I looked at everybody being away from me as me just getting everything tore away from me being weak.
Right.
So there's one thing for a bird, they can fly in the flock and they can elevate with each other and they can go and they can maneuver when their wings get tired.
Right.
See me,
Yeah.
there was no flock,
None.
but I flew anyway.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
the wings,
Right.
so the wings ends up getting stronger.
Right.
And they get stronger and they get stronger, right?
Yeah, and endurance.
See, and that's the way I was raised. That's like the story. That's the story of my life. Is
Right.
that?
Right.
And as I got older, what I realized is I like going back. I like going back into the fire.
Because it makes you alive. Does it
Makes
bring you? Does it make you feel like
makes me
tunes
feel
in,
like
tuned
I
in?
can do it again. It makes me try something new. That's just me. Then maybe it's a little
it's
while,
fine.
but also
Whatever.
I was talking to I called my uncle.
Okay.
We don't talk much on my father's side.
Okay.
Whole side of the family, we don't talk much. Shout out to Uncle Ernest. What's up, man? So we were talking about. He was asking about the story because, of course, I grew up over here. They're down south. So we're talking about the journey, right? And he said, and he's very faith-based, you know. And he was saying, you know, when the good gold, when they make gold, they put it in the fire, shine it up,
Heat it.
make it hot.
Pressure.
Yeah, and then you go. Everybody's heard the story.
Purifies it.
Yeah, and then it shines, right? See me like I was already the gold, and I was shining it. I'll go back in the fire, come out so I can shine again, because it feels alive, just rising. You know what I'm saying? And so what I want to do is make sure that I'm putting forth my best foot to make sure everybody's rising, because that's where I go.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
one
powerful.
thing about people that I really love is they know for sure that I walk through hell to get them and walk back if I have to.
Right, fighter.
You know what I mean? That's what I do.
Right.
Not everybody is here for that reason, but that is my reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That is my reason.
Right.
And not saying that I'm some super strong emotion, you know what I mean,
Right.
dude. No, I'm an emotional wreck.
Right.
But I'll run through the fire though. I'll run through the fire, you know what I'm
Passion.
saying? So that's like, so when basketball and all that comes in, basketball is when people like, you know, they call me killer, I black out, I play really hard.
Passion.
That's just on the basketball court. But people that were real in depth with me and with music, my guy like Tragic Sin, my dude Desmond, you know what I'm saying, my brother Jonathan, them guys that sat in the booth with me, I'm passionate like that in there too. You know what I mean? I'm passionate like that with my wife.
Right.
I love my wife to death.
Right, that's your big.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
You know what I mean? That's what it is. But I know who I am now.
feels better.
But now I'm trying to create this whole thing. I want to know more. You know, when you start, I was like, you know, I'd be like, okay, I feel like I've made it through the turmoil of growing up, through foster care, growing up on the hilltop, growing up over here, switching all these different schools. See, a lot of people know me and know my name because I went through all these schools and moved all over Tacoma and here and there. But you don't really know me. You know what I'm saying? But what you do know is for mine, through the fire, baby. You know what I'm saying?
You're just saying a whole lot, and it means everything, because I'm just picturing so many different things as you're talking. And one of the things I'm picturing is just like able to reflect, you know, able to take don't be ashamed of what you've gone through.
Yeah, yes.
And to be able to embrace that, you know, like I'll share this too. My mother, and I don't have to talk about my mother, but she's a hoarder. And so growing up, that was part of the abuse that I felt like was on my psyche. It was like, my mom's a hoarder, this is going on. I was ashamed of that, right? Getting a little older wasn't my choice. There's certain things you begin to realize, like, hey, that wasn't my fault. That was something she chose. I happen to be a victim of choices she made in some regards, right? So I think like it's one of those things where you're able to take a step back and reflect. And I think like we're talking about maturity, is that there's certain things that were out of your control. There's certain things that were in your control. Right now, being present, being able to kind of like almost like time machine your mind back to events, is be able to understand those circumstances, almost become your own psychologist to those events, to be so present where you are now that you're powerful,
that
because
now
you
can
overcame.
maneuver,
Like and that's what I look at, is that like when you're asking me what got you out of that, if you would have asked me that when I was in my teenage years, like, hey, why are you struggling? I don't know why I'm struggling. I could probably say I'm not eating. I didn't eat in 3-4 hours. My blood sugar's dropped and I'm cranky, right? I mean, right. But now there's wisdom, and I think
that's the reason why we asked it, and the reason why you're here, because you saw your story. There's some kid that, or some parent be like, there's a, you know what I mean? They know that, or they can. And that's got to say what's up, because you went through that. There's a kid that plays hoop at McKinley right now. I can put it on something. Right. You know what I mean?
It's an avenue. I feel like this, and so I work in mental health, and I'm an institutional counselor. I work at Western State Hospital. I've been out there for 10 years, and working in mental health, on top of having your troubles, you're able to, I think, not judge people as much. You're able to empathize with people. I think that's important, right? Really not trying to look down on people, whether they're, you know, obviously they have status or they don't. And I feel like that has helped me so much in looking at people in a richer way. And I think based on my foundation of Christ, in a richer way, we are really supposed to love each other. We're really supposed to pass our wisdom and love each other and respect each other. And that's so important, and lift each other up. Like you're saying, like you were having this dream where your family is sinking in this quicksand, and yet you want to come back because you want to lift them up. You want to lift them up based on you being able to succeed. And that's what it comes down to, is like, how can, once you come into a level of success, how can you help other people up? Even if you're not successful, what can you still do to help people?
Exactly.
You know, and that's where it comes down to. If you can make a living doing it, that's even better, you know. So there's different there's different grades to that, but I think that's what I hear you saying is that.
Well, it's not even like you
levels
said,
and
like
yeah.
being successful. It's not even being. See, everybody has their different ways of
Way of
success.
success, yeah.
Where I'm at as far as success, I reached that.
Yes.
I'm alive.
Amen.
I'm
Yeah,
alive.
Right.
That was success.
Right.
I'm a week away. I'm a week away from turning 43. If you'd have told,
Look good
if
for
you'd have told, if
40s, man.
you'd
Right.
have told 13-year-old Dontay that he'd
You'd be
see
alive.
43, I'd
Yeah.
say you was a
Yeah.
damn lie.
And what was the term for a lot of us? You'd be dead or in jail.
Yeah.
That was kind of right. You
Yeah.
want to end up dead or in jail.
Yes.
Right? I
Yeah.
don't know if you've heard that, right?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Come
Did you want to let? Yeah. Do you let? And so, yeah, being at this age, having your health, your family, the right mind, the right frame of mind to take on daily challenges, you far are successful.
Yeah, well,
And
that's
alive.
how I see it. I see it. But now it's getting to the point where I'm trying to lift. I'm trying to go to another level, superhuman.
Right?
Hey, look, man.
What you trying to do?
I'm trying to be superhuman, man. Look,
Right.
check it.
What you
I
trying
mean,
to
like,
do?
even, I was that kid that, when
Yeah.
Superman, I was jealous
Yeah.
of Superman. I was so jealous of Superman when I was little. No, I'm serious. This is real.
So Superman's your favorite
No,
superhero? I would think
no.
like Batman.
I
or something.
didn't. Nah, man. I didn't even like superheroes after Superman.
Okay.
I wanted to fly. I jumped off the roof. It didn't
Right,
feel
right.
good when I landed.
Right,
You
right.
dig it?
I dig it.
Yeah. Then I tried to do Wonder Woman when she spun around and changed her clothes, and I busted my head open.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I'm and that's no lie. Look, I got the scar from when I hit the corner.
You hear this, people.
There's
right?
a scar right here on my head from the stitches.
Right.
And from when I was spinning around, and my mom told me right before I did it, I heard her say, "You keep spinning around like that, you're gonna bust your head open." Right? And a couple more spins, I just bite out. Busted. Look, I hit my head right there, went to the hospital, and then we came back, and after that, my mom said, I told her I didn't want to go back to the hospital. She said, all right, come here. She grabbed the tweezers and took the stitches out herself. That's why I still have the scar.
Can't even see it though.
Yeah, that's why if you got to get close up. But I still got the scar in the middle of my forehead.
Right.
She took them out herself. But I always thought, I asked her about that when I got older, about when I busted my head open. I thought I was like 4 or 5. She told me I was 1.
You remember that at 1 year old?
So that was my first memory is busting my head open.
Do you remember a whole lot after 1? That's pretty early to remember that.
Yeah, I don't
That's pretty
remember.
interesting.
Yeah, but I do remember busting my head open.
It's pretty okay.
I do.
I mean, obviously it's a painful experience, but just think I can't remember.
Hey, man, put it this way: when my kids have all heard, don't spin in a circle. You
Because of
spin,
busting.
yeah. You don't, I don't like when kids spin in a circle around me. I'm traumatized.
Certain traumas.
Yeah, man, I'm like going to seizures or something.
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Don't
going
spin. Dante
Right,
will say
see.
something in the house.
Yeah, so
man.
let's get into
man.
this. Check this out.
Talk to me.
So when I was starting at Tacoma Thunder,
Yes, sir.
and I reached out to you. You was man.
I was working. I was on my break, and I
how
seen
come-
the post.
But you
seen the post.
You know you love hoop though.
I do love hoop. I want to play right now in my mind. I don't think any. Here's how I picture this. If I made it to the NBA
hold up.
or sport, I would
hold up.
still want to play. I don't think you stop. I don't think it turns off.
You almost made me beg you to come out, man.
Yeah.
I did.
I wasn't sure.
Why?
Age, hadn't played in a while, man. I mean, we stopped playing. I mean, I was 30. I'm 41 now. We're talking about 2 years ago, right? So 30,
No, it was longer than that.
was it? Time goes by. Probably 3, right?
3, 4, probably.
Yeah, so 38, 39. I remember check this
'cause
out.
I've been at Mount
So when
Tahoma
you
for
when
3.
you so go ask me the question. Go. I cut you off, but you're saying when you asked me to play,
Yeah.
what was my thought? Or
Yeah,
what was,
What was you think?
Oh yeah, so I hadn't played, and I was thinking like, man, maybe I can just help out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was kind of just like indifferent about it, but in my heart was like a quick yes. It was like I want to do it, but I was kind of reluctant to say yes, right? And so I think my confidence of not playing in a while and then just wanted to be part of it. I was like, let me just be part of it, because my whole thought was thinking, if I help you guys, right, then you guys will be successful because I can maybe help play against the guys. I like working out and playing anyway. So I was thinking like I could just play and get in shape and just kind of help Dontay and his crew get better. And plus I didn't know the crop of guys coming in. What I was thinking is you'd have young college guys, very athletic.
Wishful thinking.
just ready to go. And I'm picturing in my mind how hungry we were at 21, 22. And I'm thinking
but that's
my body, I'm thinking my body can't keep up with these young guys like that no more, you know what I mean? And, you know, responsibility of family and work, you know. So I was a little reluctant to play, but man, I respect you and I trusted you and I wanted to be part of it. Kind of going back into health. I got elbow surgery from a specialist in Bellevue, and he was able to kind of like extend some range of motion to my elbows. I got that around 36, so I was kind of feeling like I wanted to relive a pastime in terms of not getting a chance to really play. So I was kind of praying on this in a way. I was kind of like, God, I want to kind of just play still a little bit. I want to see what I can do. Energy. So
see how that.
Energy. Energy. Right. So man, it was really for me a real closure, and I was so blessed by that season. And I mean, you were so gracious, and I saw the struggles you went through with trying to keep the team afloat and trying to manage personalities. I think that was hard for you, and also looking at the game for players that you had where you were like, I'm trying to give this guy a chance. You having such a passion for the game and seeing a guy not really look at the opportunity like they could, right?
Yeah.
And it was your brand. It was your brand, you know, and Tacoma, you love Tacoma. And so I kind of just felt like I'm going to try and give Dontay the best that I can give, and I want to be there every single day. I'm not going to quit on him despite maybe how sore I am or a long work day, you know, coming to practice. Because sometimes we didn't have enough guys to practice, and yet we're trying to get better. And then guys are complaining about playing time when they come next week, and they're like, man, we didn't even practice, but then you're wondering, like, what's going on the court? It don't work like that. Anyone grown who's played, right, we understand you need to get reps in. And we need to get to know each other so we get some continuity. And I think that you saw a certain amount of guys like myself, a few other guys that were consistent, that were locked in. And yet you wanted everyone to be locked in. And sometimes we had it and sometimes we didn't. Right?
Oh, well, the thing
you know what I mean? Like we had games where we're like, man, let's build off this. Let's roll off this, you know? So that was a good experience for myself. But
the thing is, when you're going into that situation, going into that situation and being on the opposite end and not planning on playing at all was difficult, just dealing with that on my own, knowing that it was my baby. And if this starts going down the tank on the court, I'm going to have to keep calm enough so I can take care of everything on and off the court. Off the court. So that was a battle within itself. And then, but it was still a passion because I love ball. You know what I'm saying? And it's right in between where I was trying to decide, was I going to go into just doing men's basketball and coaching man and continuing with semi-pro. So I'm reaching out to people in different leagues and stuff and trying to see that, and then also debating on if I was going to go to coach at a high school level. So all that was being debated in my head as everything is going on. Also why starting a business and having another business and working for another business.
You were Superman.
So it was like I'm doing all this simultaneously. Then I'm looking on the court like, man, I know I can get us 10 and 10.
Here's the thing. You would come from work. And it was kind of weird because I was thinking, like, why aren't you playing? Just come and play, man. And you were like, nah, man, I'm cool. But there was games when we didn't have maybe enough or we needed to win. You would come from work and just play. And you had a long work day. Your day started early. I don't think people knew what your day was like. There was times where, like, you would be painting and doing your job and say, hey, I can't be there. Tony, can you come pick up the uniforms? Because we got a game, you know, and stuff like that. So I don't think other guys knew the grind. And, you know, and my thing with the guys was, let's represent well. I think you wanted to build that brand, and I feel like guys weren't really respecting that guy. You know, we had guys cursing on the court. We wanted to make it a family fun atmosphere.
That's the only way to do it.
Yeah, respect, you know, and it comes back to, it's like a job, you know what I mean? Like, you can't act a fool, and if you do, you look stupid. And so we wanted to create something that we could be competitive, we can get after, we could represent Tacoma, but we don't want to act a fool out here. And sometimes I think, like, your heart was broke with you feeling like, man, that's not who I want. I don't want us acting like that. But I want to still give this guy a chance or stuff like that. And you had a lot of stuff you were battling and juggling, I felt like. But you're just a strong-minded cat, and you finished it. You had games where you came out, and your energy lifted us. I mean, just leadership immediately. Even from the sidelines, you'd be walking the sidelines sweating, it seemed like, because you wanted to play. There'd be games you'd be like, get a rebound. And it would be like, it's like, damn, man, he's pumped. Why don't you just get a jersey and get up in the game real quick? You know what I mean? So Yeah.
That
Anyway.
that was part of my transitioning off
Supportive wife,
from
though.
playing.
Your wife was there too, and she
Oh,
was helping you settle down. I've seen a few of those games.
Yeah, people don't get
She's like,
that. People don't get that about my wife. They don't know.
The wife, I can see. I
don't-
saw some. My wife's kind of saying like, just calm down, calm down.
Yeah, she knows
Come
how
sit
to.
down.
She knows how to keep me out of going into dark places. You know what I'm saying?
God bless that lady.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
she's a beautiful person. Man.
So I with her, she cooks. She cooks, man.
Does she cook?
I didn't know she cooked. I
man.
saw your post, and
Does
you're
she
talking about
cook?
some.
She's
I was on
she
vacation.
is a
and
cook, man.
What does she? She like cook everything,
She
or
can
what?
cook anything.
Okay.
She can cook anything. She has her own channel, Soulful Eats. She has a YouTube channel.
Okay.
She talking to people all over the country,
Right.
and they be sending
That's good.
dishes, and they got their own network, and they yeah.
So she has her thing, and you
Yeah.
support her. That's cool.
Yeah. I get on the show
good.
every now and then.
That's cool.
I get on the show.
Is she gonna have some cookbooks, man, or?
I don't know what she's gonna do next,
Right.
bro. You know what I'm
She
saying?
could, she
I just
could,
say,
right?
I
She
just say,
could.
go ahead, baby.
Go, yeah.
Go ahead. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's just good. That's kind of how I ended up getting into this podcast lane. She ended up getting into her lane on YouTube after her brother had passed. He was someone that was pushing a lot of that onto the family. So
Right.
once he passed, we both kind of ventured into it.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, man.
Oh yeah, man.
it's
Aim,
tough.
man.
It's
Aim.
tough.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
family.
So
Yeah.
little bro pushed us here, so we're kind of just jumped into it and make it happen.
Yeah.
So it just ended up when the podcast is a little different than we had it set up when it was going to be me and him.
Yep.
So it's more me telling my story and getting to know people
Yep.
on another level.
Right.
And then as I grow, as I grow, hopefully the podcast grows.
Right.
But I'm gonna continue to move. And we'll continue to get people on here and conversate about what's good.
Yeah, I love it.
You know what I'm
I love
saying?
it.
So
Good stuff.
So when you went, so you had
So
the
talk to
elbow
me.
surgery,
Had
man.
the elbow
Now,
surgery.
forgive me,
No,
but
talk.
what is it? What was it called? You said your joint,
So it's called osteoarthritis dissecans.
and this is,
And I had to look this up because
it comes from family, it's hereditary.
it's rare. No, it's just it's an anomaly. It's like getting cancer. It's bad luck. Bad luck. And I'm thinking, here's the battle that I had. The battle that I had was I talked to my wife about this. I said, why would God give me this passion to play basketball and knew how far I wanted to take it, and yet I have this genetic disorder? And she said that maybe God did use you to get you out of where you were at, and it doesn't have to be all in lost. It's just the fact that that's the cards you were dealt. And I don't feel it's like almost like you accept it, radical acceptance. You just accept that's just what it was. You know what I mean? But I struggled with that. But anyway, that was the disorder. It's a lot better now because of the surgery that I had. He prolonged the health of the joint, so I'm able to kind of do more. And that's what as far as activities, I love being active. You know what I mean?
Does that help?
Oh, 100 pain. I had pain, man. I don't know if you've ever been in pain from like having injuries, but I was in pain. I had like bone spurs in the joint. I had 4 surgeries. I don't think so. I had to do because he couldn't keep me under anesthesia long. So we had to do. So here's an example. So you have to do one elbow. Then they come back and do another cleanup. So he did a cleanup on the first one. The second one, he did some ligament things, but he couldn't keep me under anesthesia long. So and then you have to wait about 6 months to do the right, because obviously you don't want to have 2 arms not working.
Yeah.
So I did 2 on my left, and then I waited. That was about a year. The next year I did the right, and so for 2 years I was recovering, and it was tough mentally, man. I was so scared. I was thinking I wasn't gonna be able to use my hands. There was risk, and so it just faith, and I'm glad I did it.
That's how you got through it, faith?
Got through it, faith, and just persevering. I mean, I wanted to recover. You know what I mean? I'm just, I attacked physical therapy hard, and I just had a vision of how I wanted to look and feel. And like when you're talking about the Thunder, when you called me, it was like, wow, this is kind of interesting. I just got done with the kind of rehab. I actually got cleared like 3 months before you called me. And I was scared to get injured. And when you have injuries, like you don't want to get injured again, right?
Oh, yeah, I know.
And so anyway, it all worked out. It worked out. And then playing in the Pro-Am, probably the best for me was playing in Jamal Crawford's Pro-Am. And I remember when you call, you're like, hey, man, we're about to be in Jamal Crawford's Pro-Am. And I'm thinking like, what the hell? Like, how'd you get us in that? You know what I mean? And I'm out there, and I didn't have great games, but I was out there, and I remember us playing against. Matter of fact, the game that I got hurt, I dislocated my finger. I remember my bone came out of my finger, and I got a concussion or a slight concussion. Like I was just getting beat up, man. I'm too small to be out there. But anyway, we're winning, and we're playing real well. And I'm looking at this atmosphere of athletes, and I'm thinking in my heart, like, wow, God, like this is special for me. Like I'm getting to kind of like relive what I wanted to kind of relive maybe in my 20s, and I was getting to do that in my 30s. It was kind of closure for me, and that's why I think after the season, I was like, I sent you a text like, hey man, you don't know how much that meant to me, and it allowed some closure for me. And so for me at that time, it was just like a weight. It was almost like a check off the box. You know what I mean?
That's what's up, man.
And so that was special for me. It was. I told my wife, I really thank Dontay, and I always thank you for that. I really do.
Yeah,
so
man,
it was
that's
great.
what's up, man.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Part of even the reason why I called you to bring you on that team anyway was just the energy, and I just felt a pull. And that's just, that's how I go. They say it's a vibe or whatever, but
I like your vibe.
It was just something about it, and I was like, you know what? You know what I'm saying? Let me see if Tony will come run. I was like, just come run.
You said it
man.
casual though. You didn't say you want me. You just come run. Yeah,
just come run. That's what it was.
You probably do it again. I probably.
That's what. Hey man.
Hey Tony, you want to come run? I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Just come get it in a little bit. It's nothing.
Right?
It's nothing. But going on that, so I'm not gonna ask you to play again.
No, I don't want to play.
No.
I'll work out though. I'll work out. I'll come out there and get a little.
We're gonna talk a little bit about what you're doing over here as far as this physical fitness, man. You're on Instagram. Every time I wake up, I see you doing some new crazy looking workout, man. You got the bar over your head. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing as far as this training.
So the training part, so R3 bar, I don't know if anyone knows Tim Manson. Tim Manson went to Lincoln High School. Tim Manson's like 54, 55. Anyway, he was a track and field star. Was a trainer. He's still a trainer, but he trained for years in Bellevue. Anyway, I got a chance to get connected with him a couple of years ago. This R3 bar, they already had kind of in concept years back. So the fine tuning of it now, how it's commercialized, wasn't how it is now. And so anyway, getting to know him, him talking about the importance of the body, mobility, because really what athletes want, what we all want, and what we lose is mobility. And we lack muscle stability. And so we create muscle imbalances. And so this tool here is to help athletes or anyone who wants to move efficiently and effectively and really become more aware of their body in time and space in terms of being able to stop and go and cut and land and jump. And so it creates a kinetic kind of a balance in the body. So it really stood out to me. He has, not to talk about some of the things I know, but anyway, he had a need for it out of a health concern because of having, bad knees, bad hips. And so he created out a need for himself and his athletes. So this right here can be, it's different series of it. You got ground series, you got lateral stability series, you got plyometrics. It's a really do-it-all tool. And you can use it for recovery. For, say, like guys have hard practices, the next day they jump in this right here. Help get lactic acid out the body and help muscles kind of balance out. And then they could be fully go get a massage or a foam roll and then go recover. Yeah. So for me being older, I'm like, man, like he's obviously older, great shape. Yeah. I kind of looked at my life in terms of evolution of like what my passions are. And part of my passion is I just love being in shape. I love working out and being healthy, clear my mind. That's what basketball sports gave me. So I found kind of another lane that speaks to me. You know what I mean? Because even basketball, you can't do it every day, and it's hard on the body, right? Yeah. Some people do yoga or run. I'm not a long distance runner, So anyway, this is why I like to use it because I feel like the founder Tim and some others, they've created a great product that I feel like I can buy into. There's Isaiah Thomas right now, our Isaiah Thomas. He uses it. Doug Christie. Jamal Crawford. There's some other athletes, but those are some big time ones. But
I think when I originally seen it was a couple years ago, and I was at a
looks kind of funny.
I was at it kind of threw me off. I was at maybe it was Sean Kemp Rayman Classic or something. It was a while ago,
right?
And Rashad Redwine was using it. And I
Right.
walked around the corner like, what
What
are
the
you
heck you
doing? He said,
doing?
I'm getting, hey, killer, I'm getting it.
Rashad
I'm
can-
getting
he
it
plays
fired
hard,
up. I'm
right?
getting it fired up,
He's-
man. Just watch, I'm going to be ready. And I was just looking at him like,
Yeah,
all right,
right.
okay.
Yeah. It fires the muscles up.
Yeah. So he was using it as a warm-up. What's up to Rashad? Shout out, hey, rest in heaven
Right.
to the great coach, Randy
Yeah.
Redwine, man,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But,
Randy's OG.
yeah, for sure, OG.
Randy's OG.
Yeah.
Randy, that's a conversation too with Randy, man.
Well,
Randy put me on some stuff, and
Well,
I think
I'm gonna
Randy
tell
for
you,
that.
since we
He's
brought
a
him
good
up,
man.
since
Good-
we brought
good
him
man,
up,
good
man,
good man.
he was one of those
Really
people
good man.
that I spent a lot of time talking to when I was going through that process of the Tacoma Thunder and everything.
Yep.
I spent a lot of hours on the phone late at night with Randy
Talking to
Redwine, and he would just let me vent. Because he'd be like, "You're getting, you know, you love it so much. You can't expect them to love it like that, and
Right.
they're not going to understand." He was telling me the business side.
Right.
He was letting me know about some of the guys that were snakes that were already in the business and who to
Right.
deal with, who not to deal with. When
Right.
I realized a lot of that stuff is a lot of phony stuff going on in there.
Right.
So that's what really turned me off about, having the Tacoma Thunder. A lot of the people that are doing the semi-pro, they're doing it for a different reason than me. I'm not going to say the wrong reason, but it's
There was
a
guys trying to
different
recruit
reason.
us
There was guys
after the
recruiting from-
game,
but
like,
I mean,
it's
come on,
weird,
man, it
yeah.
get jankier than that. One of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
guys was working for the same team, took the roster and started a whole new team with the roster and said my team didn't even exist, so we can start there. I mean, that was a whole team.
That's not right. Yeah.
And so a lot of that was just weird to me, you know what I'm saying? So I was just turned off about that, but I was looking at it a different thing, a different way. If that was ever to even come back, I mean, when Randy passed, I kind of just was like, I don't even know if I want to be involved with the whole semi-pro thing.
Yeah.
I kind of teeter-totter with the Jamal Crawford League, coaching up there, but that was just for the opportunity to be up there, and plus it was just a great atmosphere. Who's going to say no when they ask you? You know what I mean?
Right.
So I went up there with that, but even that wasn't something that I was feeling fulfilled with.
Right.
And so, you know what I mean? So it just ended up,
Yeah.
I'm back at the high school getting it in with the young boys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Randy, I knew in high school. I went to this one-on-one competition, and it's the first time I ever met Randy.
One-on-one competition.
Yeah, it was like I was 16 or 17. Anyway, my Marcus Rogers, my high school basketball coach, one of them, he got me in this one-on-one competition with grown men. And anyway, Randy was hosting it, and I ended up winning this competition. And there was a grand prize. I couldn't accept it because I wasn't 18, and I was still in high school. First time I met Randy, Randy kind of took notice of me, and he said, "Hey, here's a trophy. I can't give you the grand prize." And I forgot what the grand prize money or something like that. And anyway, he's like, "Do good in school." And he was all about school. Then Randy came to my junior college, came in, talked to us guys and said, "Hey man, a lot of you guys are good at ball and I ain't gonna take nothing from you." But he was just like, get an education. He was like a father of men. I feel
Yes.
like loved the game, was in tuned, you know what I mean, to see young men, black men, and I don't want to say just black men, but just most of us were African American playing the game of basketball. And anyway, he just really wanted us to use the game as a tool, but he talked about education. I don't think Randy people might just look at Randy's basketball, but he was a life guy.
Yes.
How is this gonna? He knew guys wanted to be around the game, so get them around the game. Take it far as you can. I'm gonna give you a platform. You know what I mean? But I know you want to be here. If you want to be here, you got a gym. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I got off Randy.
Man, that's
know
the
what I
way
mean?
he was. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how I ended
Yeah.
up in the Jamal Crawford coaching
Right.
in Jamal Crawford.
Right. So just
that's how I
genuine
ended
guy, man.
up
Genuine guy.
in a lot of those tournaments that even it was Seattle before I started putting Tacoma teams in.
Right.
Was Randy had sent Big Lou to recruit me.
Lou was
Yeah,
Now Lou was a recruit.
Yeah,
Lou
big-
brought me to practices
Yeah,
too.
so Lou brought me up there, and
Lou,
then that's how
Big Lou.
that happened.
Shout out to Big
but-
Lou.
Yeah, Big Lou. I'm gonna get him on here.
Lou needs to be on here.
Yeah, I gotta get
Lou's
Big
a good
Lou.
man. I just seen Lou. I seen Lou 3 weeks ago, and he's had knee surgery, and
yeah.
he's riding the bike and
He
doing
getting
some
back there.
positives.
He
Yeah,
getting-
he's a good man though.
He'll
and I-
get back to it.
Yeah, he's a strong cat too.
He'll get back to it. He need to get back to coaching. He should be at one of these high schools coaching, man.
Matter of fact, he shared that, but I'll let him share that.
Yeah, well, I
yeah.
already talked to him.
Okay,
Some
so
things,
some
some things you got to leave out till it happens.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I won't say more. You know
what I'm saying?
So, yeah, talk to me about more, or ask me more questions.
What about this here? So, you're talking about it gets you balanced. Man, you can bust that thing up.
If you want to
open it up.
Yeah, man. So this right here. There's two bars, man. There's the Alpha Pro. It's a little bit bigger. It's more for people who are 6 foot and over, right? And have a larger hand size. This is the Omega Pro. It's a lot smaller. It's for people who are under 6 feet, smaller hand size, but you don't lose the quality of the workout. So man, you just attach these little poles right here. There's a little button
and then
knob.
boom, and
what I like about this, man, is so compact, man. It's like you could carry this on a flight. You could take this on vacation, man. Take it to practice, whatever, man. I mean, it's just a fun tool to have. So
I'm gonna have to get one of these, and you're gonna have to put me through a little workout.
Yeah, a workout. But the Rebar Alpha Pro, and then they run about 169, and then people I can help people with a promo code if they want to get one. That saves them a little bit of cash on it, and then help them learn how to use it if they don't know how to use it.
So you do training sessions with this right here. So how does one get a hold of you to do a training session?
Man, they can contact me on IG. My handle is Andrisek253. Facebook, message me. Obviously,
Andrisek253 on
IG, and then Facebook. I mean, obviously, just message me, just inbox me.
Okay.
And then I got a link on my IG right in my bio, so they can purchase that from there. They could also go to R3 Bar Training. There's videos. The thing about it is the videos, they only give you a little bit of conveying of what the workout comprises. There's actually a heavy band that you do before this that actually helps open up the whole kinetic chain. And that takes about 15, 25.
Whoa, hold up.
He said, hold up.
Man, I'm tired of you. You just be going, you be dropping jewels and you going so fast, man.
That's how.
Look, I know it took me an hour to cut you off, but I'm cutting you off.
Go ahead.
Go back. You said kinetically.
It's kinetic, so movement. Movement.
Yeah.
Movement.
But the whole, no, this is more than movement. Are we talking, so when you did your study and the things that you're doing, so as you're making the movement with your arms, we're just talking about your core moving.
You're talking about everything.
So,
kinetic chain, you got your
from the top to the bottom.
Top to the bottom. So you got ankle mobility, you got knee for knee stability, you got hip for mobility, right?
Yeah. Right? Teach me something. Let's go.
Teach me. So that's all important for athletic performance,
for sure.
or just for human movement. So we're talking about kinetic, we're talking about movement. So basically, there's a heavy band you do as a pre-workout before you get into this. Then you get into this, and then you kind of work on your deficiencies. A lot of people just want to do squats, lunges, bench press, things like that nature. Those are good motor movements, but basically you want to fire up the smaller muscle units. So we a lot of times we suffer from injury and problems because we lack flexibility, or we have too much density in the larger muscle groups.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's what we're talking about.
So this is going to help you be more fluid, more bouncy, more lean. You're going to create more lean muscle mass and be stronger. A lot of people think you got to be, big and strong. That's okay for maybe you're a football player. Depends on your job and your position.
Depending on what you're doing.
Right. But really, you want your muscles to be elastic, especially basketball players.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You want to be quick, elastic, and be balanced.
You got to be
balanced.
part gazelle.
So you go part something.
You want to be part some type of
Yeah. So anyway, man, you got all kind of workouts that you could do with this. So that way I can anyway. The videos on R3 Bar videos, they show you a little bit, but they don't give you the whole recipe.
But you got the recipe.
I got the recipe. And
you guys got to hit him up. What is it? What's the handle again?
Andrisek253, or just Facebook.
Andrisek253.
Anthony Andrisek
on the
Facebook.
IG.
Yeah, man. So
on the IG, Andrisek253.
Yep.
He's on there. And then I'm gonna put numerous videos out, man. We're gonna talk about this some more. Okay. I'm gonna set up a session.
Yeah.
So I can get it in, and then I'll decide if I'm gonna buy that. Because if it don't get me right, then I can't do it. Is it even gonna be? I'm 6'9", bro.
So they have 3 different brands. So basically, there's a beginner. It's a black set. They have intermediate, small green ones, which you just saw when I pulled this out. Then they have the heavy bands. It's gray. Anyone who starts with this is going to start with the beginner, right? The pole's probably about 6 pounds. It's probably 3. When you get just you're tall, it's going to be a little bit more resistance. So for you, I'm going to start you out with probably the green. You're strong, and basically that you're going to feel it right away. Your core has to engage right away. If your core don't engage, then you collapse, right? So you're gonna feel it, and then basically I can, as a certified trainer at 3 Bar, I can see where you might be lacking, and then I can correct movement and movement patterns because
Yeah,
you don't
while
want to
you're
be
going through it.
you don't want to be sloppy with it, right? It's like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like assisting someone on a bench, right? If you're shaking and stuff, that's not good. So we want to kind of help the athlete improve their deficiencies and then be able to assess that. So anyway, man, you would get a good workout, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna set that up.
I run people through demos. It's assessment tests that you do too with people to help them learn how to see if their squats right and things like that. Because some athletes, especially young athletes, the best thing young athletes could do, and it's kind of old school, is do a lot of like static holds, wall sits, things like that. Where you're actually teaching the muscles to fire, and so that's important for the younger athletes is actually learning how to squat properly and lunge. And
Oh yeah, we do a lot of that. I call it flight school.
yeah, okay.
So you got,
I don't know what flight school what you do, but I'll have to come through.
And it entails a decent amount of core workout mixed with some plyometrics, mixed with some holds and burnouts all together in one. I can get it done in about 30 minutes to get a workout.
What do you got? Where you guys do it at?
Man, I do it. Well, I have to do it on Zoom because we can't do
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, through the school.
I'm thinking outside.
But I had my first outside session the other day at the school, so we was out on the track. And it was so much fun.
It's fun.
It's a lot different when you actually get to see the kids do it, then you can correct things. It's hard to correct them when you're looking at the little boxes
It is hard.
on there. I'm quite sure you've done that before.
It's different. Different energy. The energy is way different.
It doesn't transfer, so I had a great time with
different.
that. Can't wait till Monday to do it again.
Yep.
But
Yes, sir.
we basically, man, I want to thank you for coming to Crucial Conversations.
I appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying?
Much love, brother.
You know what I mean? You guys make sure you guys get at my guy for some of this training. I'm going to try it out, and then I'm going to have to come back and tell you guys about it.
I'm going to have him gassing.
You know what I mean? Never that.
I'm going to run him through the ringer.
Never that.
Yeah, see if he's soft. See if he's really soft.
Nah, kill him, man. Kill
him, man.
Kill him, man.
I feel it, bro.
Ain't no punk in me, man. I'm ready for that.
Well,
This is what it is.
We'll see.
It is what it is. I wake up and do burnouts.
Just wake up and do push-ups.
Oh, man, I wake up and burn out every morning at 4 o'clock.
Do you? Just
4 in the morning.
push-ups?
4 in the morning. I wake up and burn out. People ain't even
Savage.
brushing their teeth yet. I'm already done got a full body
I
workout.
gotta brush my teeth first, man.
Man,
I feel
people.
like
I
I'm
said
afraid.
people. I didn't say that's part of my routine. I said people. I didn't say
There's people who don't even move the whole day, man.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I know.
It is what it is. Hey, first and foremost, I want to say make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching it on any other platforms where you're just listening to the audio, go ahead and make sure you like and favorite. You know what I mean? Hit me up at Crucial Conversations at Gmail. You know what I'm saying? Actually, Crucial Convo at Gmail. You want to send me an email. You want to talk about the show. You want to get on the show. You got ideas for the show. You want to sponsor the show. Go ahead and hit me up on there. I'm on Instagram, Crucial Conversations. I'm on YouTube, Crucial Conversations Podcast. Okay, you can find me on there. Real simple and plain, man. So I'm also looking for sponsors. We're trying to get into some other things. Hopefully the country opens up and we can start making some other moves. We got some things plotting. Got some things plotting on this basketball thing. And then I'm going to be coming back in the next future episodes. We'll be coming back and we're going to do some local hip hop. Yes, indeed. Some of y'all know I used to rap or whatever, but I've been doing music all my life. But I love music. I love hearing different levels of bars. I love breaking down music. I love talking about music. I listen to music every day. So I'm about to just try to get some of this local hip hop and see what's going on. You know what I'm saying, Tony? I'm about to just see. I just want to see what's popping.
I respect the game.
Yeah. I just want to see who's out here dropping bars. So I got a contest. I got a contest out right now.
Bro.
Got a contest out right now. I'm trying to get somebody $100 just so I can hear the 16 bars.
There's some guys out here.
Oh man, hey, look, I got some things in this here phone. I got some things in this here phone that got some heat in it that people are sending for that contest. See, it's not too late, but I got some things. So in the future, probably by episode 12, we're gonna be doing this hip hop thing. I think I'm gonna do about 4 or 5 episodes dedicated to hip hop. We're gonna bring some artists in here. We're gonna get it in. Maybe get some guys to spit some bars. Some crucial bars. You know what I'm saying?
Bars.
But thanks a lot for coming, man. I really appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming, man, and sharing your story. You guys hit my guy up, man. We're going to go ahead and be out of here. Thank you. Remember, the best conversation, the longest conversation that you're going to have is the one with yourself. And I'm out. Crucial.